I figured out where these freaking spider came from I had on me the other day. I think it was living down by my desk. The downside of having a desk in your basement.
Oh, that's gonna suck in the summer. Does it get cool in the summer, or
yes,
does it get hot?
It's gonna suck. I was going to the bathroom, you know, like you do, and my kids never let you go to the bathroom in peace. And my daughter comes in and she's talking to me, and I felt like something climb up my neck, and then she goes, "You have a spider on you!" And like she beelines out of the bathroom, leaves me abandoned on the toilet.
You're on your own, Mom.
I said, "You're not supposed to leave a chick behind. Get back here. How big is this?" She's like, boom, going, and here I am. I'm like, so then you're like, do I wipe? Do I try to kill the spider? Do I cry for help? Like, I was just like, oh my god, I've got to teach you. We do not leave your chicks behind where they're being accosted by a freaking bug.
Wow, she has bobber traits.
Oh, she has bobber traits. You shush. You shush your face.
Being as I'm a guy, I would be peeing all over the fucking bathroom trying to get that thing off me.
Well, dude, yeah, because you don't know how big it is. You don't know what it is. And at the same time, you feel it like, and it's on you. Somebody like looks at it and then tears off running. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing.
Like, I get a lot of shit for it, but I like flip the fuck out when a spider surprises me.
I'm that with any flying and because I'm the same way with bugs, the same with people. Respect my personal space. Like, I'm okay if a bug is chilling over doing its thing, but it gets all up in my area. Sometimes I lose my mind.
Up in here, up in here.
Up in here. Especially freaking beetles, man. We got those June beetles that have like those little claws that hang on to you for life.
Yep.
Satan.
You must have liked Luminance text the other day and...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I saw
the one with the fly or whatever?
the spider crawling across the screen.
Oh, is it a spider?
Yeah,
really
that was
tripped
pretty
me
cool.
out.
I liked it.
I thought it was for real. He was in voice with us, and I'm just like, what is that? Like, I'm looking at my computer's second monitor, and I'm like, is that really on my screen?
Yeah, I tried to wipe it off my screen.
Yeah, I remember you did. You said you were trying to wipe it off. That's so true. That's
Lucky
funny.
for me, when I saw that, I was on my phone at work, and a GIF doesn't play unless I click on it on my phone. So I didn't have to worry
lucky
about
dog.
that.
Lucky.
I just saw everybody else comment on it.
Everybody's looking around. Did you hear that woman scream? No, I didn't hear nothing at all.
It's just blue in the bathroom again.
Too silly. Exactly. That's it, man. I went to Cedar Point one time, and they had those mayflies everywhere. I'm sure because Luminen would know about those. They would just have them everywhere. They're covering anything and anything. And they're like these little fragile bugs that once they get on you, if you try to get them off you, they like smear. So that's even worse. Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, they're great when you're on the roller coaster doing
They suck.
60 miles an hour and you hit
So
a bunch of them.
freaking bad.
Well, hey, when it's
bad.
$10 for a small fry, you just open your mouth and get a lot of protein.
It's disgusting. Disgusting. One time, I had this caramel apple, and like you probably know the bathrooms, I don't know if they changed them, but it had like this big pine tree. Like on the one side it was the women's bathroom, and the other side was the men's. It had this big pine tree right outside, and you could sit around the base of the pine tree and like wait for people to come out of the bathroom. Well, I looked out at my caramel apple, and freaking mayflies had attached themselves to the sticky gooiness. So I was disgusted. So what did I do? I thought I was just going to toss it behind me into the big, huge-ass tree. But I did not know the power of my strength that I chucked it through the tree. And what it ended up doing, and I didn't know until I got... Mossy and I got up, and we were walking away, and I turned, and there's this little like boy crying because he got hit in the head with a caramel apple. I felt such a douche because I didn't even think, because I didn't know that there was another group on the other side of the tree. Oh my god!
Did Mossy start laughing too?
Oh hell yeah! It's a story that we never will forget. I'm just like, oh, can't eat that. Boop, threw it over my shoulder. And it like went through the pine tree and clocked this kid in the head, and he was just like, where? And I would have been crying too. I mean, you got hit
They're
by
full of caramel.
A random caramel.
I'm wearing my birthday suit, and I got a luscious blonde wig on.
Oh shit, I'm eating freaking narco berries now. I am not doing myself any favor.
Might have bit off more than I can chew here.
There's a bad one in this bunch. You guys want me to teach you about mushrooms?
I am so close to death. I've got a broken leg.
The only way that you survive is by being smarter than some of the other people.
What the heck? It's digging holes in the ground? It's digging holes in the ground.
Fresh spawns, veteran tamers, and all survivors in between. We'd like to welcome you to Rated Ark, the Ark Survival Evolved podcast.
By the way, this is explicit.
Welcome, survivors, new and old, to Season 2, Episode 6 of Rated Ark, the Ark Survival Evolved podcast. Today is April 6th, or whatever part of the world you're in, it could be a different date, but where we are is April 6th, 2018. We are a CRR Gaming Group hosted podcast. That means the voices can change each week, but the roundtable discussion will always be about Ark. Now, we have many ways you can contact us to share your feedback, tips, or adventures. You can reach the show by email, ratedark@gmail.com. You can tweet the show at ratedark on Twitter. You can also grab the RSS feed to get our show notes at www.ratedark.com and apply to join us at www.crossrealmrebellion.com. And, tonight we'd like to start off by introducing all of our people we have in here today. And we'll start off with Cricket.
Hello, all.
Falloon.
Hey, y'all.
Luminen.
Hello.
Big Blue.
Howdy, howdy.
And I am Goon. And I'd like to bring up Esme, who will be hosting our host of hosts.
Oh, thank you, Goon. And I'm going to get us started with a loot drop.
Shout, let it all out. These are the shoutouts we can't live without. Oh yeah, come on, yeah. Radark's talking to you, you're talking to us. Yeah, time for shoutouts.
Just wanted to give some loot drop love to Paithan at Paithan Oakso. Always on Twitter. And really awesome. Thanks for retweeting the show and interacting with us and letting us know that you got all the way to the flying megalodons on last episode before you realized what day it was. So, Paithan is talking about the April Fool's episode we dropped last week with our hilarious 8675309 patch notes we added. So, and also we had Thomas Hansen. It's TSH_X85 said, also got me with that podcast earlier. Almost fell off the chair with the TLC thing. Smiley face. So it's good. And we're happy you guys, found it funny. And we've not gotten any hate mail at this point. So everybody probably listened to the rest of the show and figured out it was our April Fool's patch notes. So that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing that episode. So we're going to head into. Did anybody have any loot drop or any shout outs they want to give before we move on to Fresh from the Forge?
No, I don't.
Alrighty, here we go.
Fresh from the forge.
All right, Blue, what do you have coming off the Forge this week?
Alright, so there's really nothing new for the PS4 and Xbox. They're still stuck waiting for Dino TLC number 2. For PC patch notes, current version 279.243 in upcoming current Ark. Something popped up. My bad. Current Ark official servers network versions 279.242. I'm reading a bunch of numbers, so I'm getting lost. But current version 279.243 fixed for following players to transfer between the servers. Universion minor battle eye update. I'm not sure what that is, but that's done. And do I just keep reading down this list?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
Current server version 279.242 fixed tamed overraptors getting Bunified?
Bonafide? Oh, because they're getting turned into bunnies.
Oh,
They
for
were
the
turned
Easter
into the bunnies.
event.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're still rocking out bunny dodos. I think that actually goes to April 10th, so you still have time to get your Easter on in Ark.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. Fix game exploits involving using a BattleEye bypass to ignore pin codes, access storage, and exploit the Ascension mechanic. Also fix the torch placement on TLC2 saddles. Moss shops are now rideable, which I find that very awesome. Makes it easier to use.
That is very cool.
It is weird. I totally thought that was like an April Fool's thing when I first saw it, but I'm like, it's the day after that they announced it.
Well, I was reading a thing that when I think the TLC number 2 came out, there was it messed it up and allowed players to ride them. And they took it away, and the feedback is what prompted them to bring it back.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's pretty interesting.
I know Goon's going to be covering that next.
Moss chops harvesting effectiveness reduced by approximately 30%.
But while it's reduced by 30%, it means that by riding it means you get to use it 10 times as much. So
it'd be way more effective. All right. Fix the PVE bug causing non-allied dinos to rapidly lose their food under specific circumstances. Fix friendly raptor pouncing dismounting nearby riders. And multiple fixes for chicken hat placement. Version 279.234 added Pix Arc button to main menu.
Wait, I didn't even see that. Did you guys see that?
Does that mean we can just go to Pix Arc from Arc?
From Arc. That's how I gathered it. I didn't notice this.
I haven't.
That's legit.
I literally haven't been on Arc since Pix Arc dropped. So.
Oh, okay.
Same for me.
That's
interesting though.
Huh.
I thought so.
I didn't see it the other day when I was on there.
Me either. I don't know. That's weird. I didn't see it either, but I thought maybe I wasn't looking for it, so.
Right.
Cricket, weren't you talking about the Raptors dismounting players?
Well, they dismounted the rider, but that patch note sounds like it dismounted other allies that were like next to you.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I don't know if they still dismount the rider or not, but that was one of the things that had happened originally.
Nice.
And Goon is going to tell us a little bit more about this rideable moss chops.
Yeah. Monday at 3:56 p.m., the latest edition of the Community Crunch. Community Crunch is where we share important things going on in Arc, as well as host contests, showcase, and creations made by the community. And today was the rideable moss chops returns. By popular demand and some discussion by our gameplay team, the rideable moss chops makes its return. For those who missed out, during the TLC2 update, we encountered an unintended mechanic which allowed the moss chops to be rideable. After receiving feedback from players regarding the creature and its newfound ability, we decided we wanted to make it so, but do it properly. So stay tuned for a rideable moss chops coming soon to an Arc near you. Winky face.
Winky face. I guess I never even would have thought, because like in the picture, it makes it look like the moss chops is so huge and the players are so little, but it's not proportionate to what it's like in game. I feel like we'll be like riding like big wheels, like those 80s bikes we all loved.
That kind of makes me want to jump into Arc just to see how
just to ride them, like. Especially get yourself an Easter moss chops.
It says coming soon though, right? So that means it's not there yet.
Coming soon. Yeah. Well, it says that it added it in. Moss chops are now rideable for the current version, so that just had dropped out because this was announced on Monday, and they've been doing their patch drops on Tuesdays, so that's probably why.
Oh, they actually have like a normal patch release schedule now.
Yep, I read it. Yeah, I read that they plan on dropping their weekly patches and changes on Tuesdays. And I'm sure unless there's an emergency patch that has to go through.
Guess that's what happens when you finally get early access, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're console.
Hey, you know what else is? Yeah, I was gonna say, you know what else is really cool is I thought it was kind of cool, and maybe I have one little bitty concern, probably unfounded, but at the end of reading through this, I'll share that with you. So, official PVC Legacy PVE saves. We put a download link on our patch notes. So what the announcement was attention PC PVC Legacy survivors. We've made the current Legacy PC PVE save files available to download. say that 10 times real fast.
Right?
This has been a community request for some time from our players base, and as some of you have expressed interest in moving on to your own dedicated servers, the snapshot was taken on 3rd of April 2018, and we're going to see if we can also make console PVE legacy saves available. So that's really cool. I think that is really awesome. The only concern I have, I just was sitting there trying to think through like the save files and what you might have access to. Hopefully there's no way to exploit that.
It can happen.
I think it's
it will happen.
really cool that you could get your base and everything off of official and put it up somewhere and your dinos, but if you have your hot little hands on everything.
Exactly.
Anyway, I don't know.
I can see where the concern will come from.
Yeah.
I think the only save files they're going to give out, though, are the servers that they already shut down, though.
Yeah, well, I think he's just saying being able to dig into the save files and find exploitable
right.
things.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I don't want to squash the idea. It's just
You just know that trolls will find a way to be trolls.
Exactly.
They can. Absolutely. We've all had experience with that.
The last little bit of this is please keep in mind that they will not be offering this on their regular official network or PvP legacy servers. It's only for PC PvE legacy save files.
Right on. It's cool that they listened to the community and was like, you know what? Let's see if this works. Let's see if this is something
that's
cool.
Totally awesome, I think.
Yeah. Alrighty, Cricket, what do you have for us?
What do I have for us? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you just belch?
No.
Maybe he stretched. Maybe he stretched belch.
No, you normally hear me stretch.
I know.
We have the sponsored mod program update and new Wildcard Workshop tutorials. Hey everybody, Zen here with your dose of modding news. I'm excited to announce a new addition to the sponsored mod program this month. The joy of the hunt was always a significant aspect of ARC for me, and as far as I was concerned, taming was as much of a part of that experience as the actual battle with the beast. I am delighted to see that someone has taken the mantle of modding that aspect with some significant changes. I am pleased to announce that the immersive taming mod will be joining our roster this week. Using this mod, you will find that taming has been changed from a battle to protect an unconscious creature, while you tried to keep it drugged and stocked with food suppositories, to the gauntlet of gaining a creature's trust and trying to tame it in a way that imitates life a bit more. Did you guys ever play with that mod?
No, I haven't.
Because I saw that mod pop up at different times, but I never played with it because I don't know if we ever had it on any of the servers because it sounded interesting. That you do a little more than just knock the creature out, throw a pen around it, and shove some food in its face. So that's cool that they're taking more interest in that one.
Well, I always enjoyed any of the new taming mechanics. It kind of gets you away from the doldrums, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But and then figuring them out to get the most out of them. That's like a fun part of the game for me.
That's I like the idea of the Troodon taming. It just in practice, I have had hardly any luck with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I haven't tried it yet either. I still need to do that. It's an old mechanic, and I haven't done anything with it.
Good luck.
I also have, this is also from Zen. He posted, I also have a couple new entries for the Wildcard Workshop tutorial series today. Tutorial number 2 focuses on trying to get you into the right mindset for programming and how to look at the interaction between data, logic, and the game world. You will find some supplemental information in the thread post for this one. And then he has the YouTube link to tutorial number 2. He goes on to say, in tutorial number 3, we build our first mod from the minimal files we set up before into something that will actually work if it were uploaded to the workshop. With another YouTube link there. He finalizes this little thing with, we will also be making some changes to the mod tutorial contest. Going forward, these will be more freestyle under much wider topics. For instance, contest number 3 is all about making ridiculous April Fool's Day buffs. We'll also start linking all submissions in the contest thread, not just the winner, since they will all be unique.
That is cool. I like this whole vibe he's got going on. I like the inclusiveness of the whole, we're not just going to be like, oh, this is the winner, because all the other stuff is cool too, to see what everybody else put in, it's neat to show like some of the other stuff that were contenders. That's cool. And I did get to watch the tutorial number 3. I think he does a really good job presenting and explaining it. So it seems pretty cool. Definitely, it's so cool to see that they're doing this, that they're offering this to the group. But obviously in the YouTube comments, you see like people going, I want to know why Mr. Rant's Tools isn't on here anymore, and I want to know. And it's not like you know, anybody owes an explanation. People can pull out of the mod program on their own accord. It's not like something bad happened. You know, they may have just decided they didn't want to do it anymore. You know, so just like what we were talking about in a past episode, people will find some way to bitch about something in an entirely different platform that has nothing to do with. Like this person, he answered him back politely, and he's like, "Listen, I'm not gonna check into this. You know, it's not my place to find the answer and then give it to some rando on the internet of why this person disappeared."
No kidding.
So yeah, it was weird, but I love the fact that they're doing these YouTube videos and educating the community is really cool.
You know, it's also really cool.
Nice.
The next Dino Spotlight's arms.
Yes.
Come on down to Dinosaur City, your one-stop shop for help with all your plots. We got dinos to cover all your needs, from arms to alarms, from intimidating to intimate.
Well, hello there. Look at you being all sexy, staring at me with those hungry eyes, like you could just eat me up.
So come on down to Dinosaur City. We can help you. To help yourself, pick the dino that's right for you. And remember, we have a special every week, and this week's special is the Carnotaurus.
One more time for the crowd.
The Carnotaurus.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, the Carnotaurus presser is a distinctive creature that falls between medium and large predator. It lives primarily on flat, clear ground where it can capitalize on its speed. Additionally, it seems to have no qualms about running away from larger predators instead of fighting. Now, the horns of the Carno seem to be used more for fighting rivals than actual hunting. That doesn't mean that the horns aren't dangerous, though. They can still eviscerate larger prey. The Carnos is one of the smaller and more compact of the large predators. If the Tyrannosaurus is the lion of the island, the Carnotaurus is certainly the cheetah. The real threat of the Carno is not being able to escape it once it has spotted you.
Domesticated, the Carno fills a very specific role. Larger and almost as fast as a raptor, smaller but much faster than a Rex. Were it not for the creature's extremely long downtime after sprinting, it might be among the most capable, balanced mounts. Taming method, you knock that puppy out. It prefers the Ankly egg kibble, the Ankylosaurus egg kibble. Also prefers raw mutton, and you can equip it with a saddle at level 46, unless you find a friend or a friendly person on your server to make it for you. And unique custom costumes are the Carno bone costumes you can get around Halloween. And you cannot use rider weaponry on the Carno. And you also cannot carry humans. Do you guys have any tips or anything to add about the Carno before we move on to Fell's admin tip?
Yes. I've nicknamed it the Supermanosaurus.
The Supermanosaurus?
And you can totally carry players if you're on a PvP server. You just carry them in pieces.
In pieces?
Get in my belly.
Get in my belly.
And I'd like to point out the fact that Esme has me saying Tyrannosaurus, well, she gets just to say Rex.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just saying. I get a lot of the info from the dossier, so you can blame Helena. That's who you can blame.
Okie dokie.
The Carnos always seem so angry to me, and I think everybody always says it's because they have itches they can't scratch. But
yeah, it's their cool little backwards facing arms.
Yeah, right.
Can't do baby butts.
And they're always like, when one sees you, I feel like when I'm in game, a Carno can see you from their aggro range seems to be a lot larger than that of like a normal Just another random card. It does.
Yeah.
It's almost like they can lock in on you, and then they come charging and put their head down. They're like, it's just crazy. They're so comical.
I think we've decided they're just pissed off because their arms are so short.
I do. I think you're right. I think that's everybody who has been chased by one. Definitely, you almost it's not like you want to get mad at them. You kind of feel sorry for them while you're running for your life. You're like, I guess I would be chasing me too.
I just want you to scratch my nose. Just scratch my nose.
There's something stuck in my teeth.
Exactly. And he doesn't have a spaghetti ladle to get the job done, so he wants to use you.
Yep.
Wants to use you. All right, well, we're going to be moving into Mr. Fells.
Cue the awesome music.
Get out your unicorns, people, because here comes Fell.
Okay, I thought this time I would do a little bit on server setup. One of the things that we were dealing with on our servers was, we get in, one of the fun mechanics is breeding dinos and, getting the damage way up there and those kinds of things. It's really kind of cool to do those things. And plus it's very helpful, like when you go out for resource harvesting on your basic gathering dinos, like your Ankylo and your Doeds and that type of thing, or Branos. But so we get out there and we got these bred dinos, and they're just overpowered as all get out. And you take a swipe with a tail on a Brano, or even our Ankylos on the server. We go out there to farm metal, and we take a swipe at a high grade node, and the counter comes up, it sits there, the numbers are rolling. In the meantime, it's lagging the server. And so one of the things that we just recently started doing on our servers is adding this function in the game INI file, and it's called Harvest Resource Item Amount Class Multiplier. And what that does is it's kind of cool because not only does it cut down on the it's just basically the server lag is gone from harvesting. It's just not it's just amazing. You can set this up so that you can have high resource amounts, but one of the things, like when I was putting the aberration server up, and actually Cricket and I were working on the harvest amounts and stuff before we opened it up. But so like on aberration, for example, there was mods that came out that would allow you to change like the gems into regular crystal. So crystal is in some ways was like a more rare resource. So all I did was I could just zero in on the crystal and say I want twice as much or 3 times as much. I would have to go back and look at the file and see how I did that, but since crystal was a chance for a drop from gem nodes, I set it real high, so you could zero in on things like that and set them high if you want, or low if you want, whatever. But doing this is really, the server lag is gone, and it's very much enjoyable. No more screaming about, hey, who's farming, and if we're all in Discord or voice or TeamSpeak, we're like, okay, well, I got to go out and farm some metal, or I got to go out and farm some berries. Everybody, in a safe place. It's just kind of nice not having that anymore. So
absolutely.
So I put an example, and that line down there was in our show notes was for organic polymer. That is exactly the way you set that up. And what I did was I put it all on a spreadsheet, and then I just have it set up so that let's say I want most of the resource harvesting to be set at 40 or 20 or whatever. I've got a spot on my spreadsheet. It just it just set the value, and it changes every line. So there's lots of lines for this, so it's kind of a line by line thing, not just a to some value on one line that targets all resources. So there, consequently, you either end up with carpal tunnel, or you can do it on a spreadsheet like I do, and have one place to change the values. But so like what I did also is it would be like, meat harvesting. All the meats have their own set of values, so I can change it in one spot, and then all the rest of the resources has one value for each one. I can just put the number in there, and it changes every line. And then whenever it's done, I just copy it, paste it into the game INI file, and away we go. So anyway,
awesome.
Little server setup admin tip.
Yeah, that's a really good one too, because that is definitely a quality of life one that probably many people don't even know is possible for running their own servers. Like, how can you get around the Bronto swipe?
Exactly. It's amazing
awesome.
The amount of difference it makes. It's just incredible.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so you guys are going to realize that this is a short show because we're recording back to back. What?
I was going to say, I was actually talking to a muted mic, but I don't remember if we tested it, but did we test?
You were talking to a muted mic.
Did we test if you put, like, the overall, like, multiplier to 2 and then individual ones on top of that, if it was multiplicative between the two?
That's right. We did figure that out. And I'd have to, which one was it? There's one that we got to leave set to 1 because it multiplies it. It multiplies the value that you put in this line by that line.
Yeah.
So in order to make this work, you have to have it set up so that multiplier is at 1.
Yeah, unless you want to do something where everything is at 3 times, except you want to have one thing higher. You can put it in here and just make 1 or 2 things, like you said. If you wanted to have if you're only going to change, keep everything 1 except you wanted crystal to be high,
right?
Then you could, or everything to be 2 and then crystal to be higher. You could do that too. All right, that's it.
All right, so as I was saying, you guys may have realized that this is going to be a short episode, and that's because we're recording back-to-back episodes because, you may have heard we have been playing a lot of PixARK this week, so we also wanted to devote an entire episode to PixARK, but not leave Rated Ark hanging, because some of us are still hopping in and doing our Easter dino hunting and all that fun stuff, so we were doing both tonight. So we're going to wrap up this episode, but we're going to stay and hop over and going to be talking a bunch of PixARK. So you're going to have 2 shows in your podcatchers. So we're going to do our last call. Once I find it. Here we go.
It's closing time. Pack up all those dinos and head out into the real world. It's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can stay here. I don't want to have to log right now. I don't want you to have to log right now, but it's closing time. And Rated Ark is ready to pull the plug.
All right, everyone. Did you have something that you forgot to mention during the show? Say it now or wait a week.
Can I just wait like 7 minutes instead of a week?
Nope. Week or nothing.
Love you, people.
All right. So, since you guys never have anything to say during this call, I always have something to say. You can come and join us in the games we play, the podcasts we record, and the Discord server we hang out in at CrossRealmRebellion.com. You can get your Cross the Realm Rebellion merchandise and Rated Ark inspired t-shirts at teespring.com/stores/cross-realm-rebellion-store, or hey, make it easier on yourself and just go to ratedark.com and find that stuff in the show notes. And also want to give a shout out to some of our followers and listeners and retweeters and just genuinely awesome people on Twitter at American Zombie, at Juster Ark, and our beloved Full Metal Agent, fellow CRR member, and Waldo Peppercorn. Want to say thank you for all of your awesomeness. All right, are we done? Everybody want to call it a wrap and hop on over to episode 7?
Can we call it like a sandwich instead?
No, we're doing it as a
wraps are more healthy.
You're just
but that's why sandwiches are better.
I like sandwiches.
I like sandwiches.
Be sandwich.
You can reach the show by email at ratedark@gmail.com. can tweet the show at Rated Arc on Twitter. You can grab our RSS feed, get our show notes, and apply to join us in-game at ratedarc.podbean.com. Maybe it was eaten by a dingo.